This is the NSU Basketball Coaches Show with head coaches of the Riverhawks, Jay Havens and Keith Ferguson. The show is hosted by Ori the Voice Phillips. The NSU Basketball Show is presented by the NSU Alumni Association. Joining the voice alongside is myself, Sean Solo, and William Captain Morgan of the Riverhawk Sports Nest podcast. The show is recorded live at 6 p.m. on Mondays at Emery's Grill in downtown Tahlequah. The show is aired on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. on Lakes Country 102.1. The video portion of the show will be posted on the Rogue Radio Network YouTube channel Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. Now, on to the show.
Recording from Emery's Grill in downtown Tahlequah, this is the NSU Basketball Coaches Show presented by the NSU Alumni Association. I'm Ori Phillips, the voice of the Riverhawks, and I'm joined by the Riverhawks Sports Nest, consisting of DJ Sean Solo and Captain William Morgan. Alongside us are the head coaches of NSU basketball, Jay Havens for the men and Keith Ferguson for the women. Before we get to our conversation, we'd like to extend a big thank you to the program's presenting sponsor, the NSU Alumni Association. Membership in the NSU Alumni Association is the most visible way to show your Northeastern pride. Members enjoy exclusive perks and money-saving benefits and also support the Alumni Association's outreach efforts. Learn more about membership at nsualumni.com. The Riverhawks took the floor for their penultimate two-game homestand. I've learned, by the way, in recent weeks, I really like the word penultimate. Okay. The women faced the nation's 8th-ranked team in Fort Hays on Thursday and fell in a 68-63 decision. Yeah, I learned that word from a music teacher from many years ago. Deanna Douglas, 24 points in that one. It was the second time in a three-game stretch she reached 24. The men's game was grounded to the tempo and style of the half-court-based Tigers foe. But the Riverhawks emerged with the decision in a 66-64 final, marking their first win in men's basketball over Hayes since 2020. Here's the call, the final stop of the game that sealed the deal for the Riverhawks on Lakes Country 102.1.
Instead, he passes Ramirez from the right. Then back to Grill. 2 seconds. One inside against Washington. Goes up and he misses. Northeastern State 66. Fort Hays State 64. The Riverhawks a much needed triumph. They defend the nest against the Tigers out of Kansas.
On Saturday, NSU played host to Nebraska-Kearney for the first time since 2023. A last-second bucket from Miley Weirs helped the Lopers to a 58-57 final over the Riverhawks. Again, that was in the women's game. NSU men fell 89-82 despite 23 points from Xavier Glenn, 19 from A.J. Reed. Coaches, give me your thoughts on last week. We'll start with Ferg and then go to Havens.
Obviously a tough week. You lose two tight games, and against Hayes we were able to battle back, and you know, you could just tell how good of a team they were. Every time we got, I think, 2 or 4, they'd hit a bucket and just make things hard for you. And Hayes is 15 straight. They've got the record right now for most straight 20-win seasons on the women's side with 15 straight. So they're obviously a really well-run and great program, and they do a good job. And then in this league, you can't feel sorry for yourself very, very long, and I thought we kind of did a little bit, and Kearney was able to jump up on us, and then we battled back and really grinded out, you know, and took the lead and had to go through some tough situations, and you know, they had a point guard that just made an incredible pass to a back cut and a back screen, and 0.2 on the clock, not really anything you can do with 0.2. You know, you just got to tip it up, and we couldn't get anything off in time, and you can't catch and shoot. So that was hard to swallow, and a tough home week for us. But you know, again, two good teams that were here at home, and it wasn't like we just laid down and died. You know, we battled and came back and kept trying to do the right thing, and our kids are sad about it, but you know, you got another opportunity this next week to go on the road and get 2 more good teams. So you know, we got to get better today and better tomorrow and be ready to go.
Yeah, for us it was a tale of 2 games. Thursday, I thought we were dialed in, really focused on the defensive end, and did probably as good a job of defending as we've done all year for 40 minutes against a very good team. And typical Fort Hays fashion, they turn it into a rock fight and just make you grind it. And just limit possessions. And I thought we did as good a job as we've done all year of staying focused on the possession and really fighting to maximize, our offensive possessions and really staying in the fight defensively to make them earn whatever they got. And it was a big win for us, and to come up with the last stop, and I think we had a couple guys really step up. Taven recognized the action and switched, and then they get downhill on a drive because of the switch, and X was there to go vertical and contest at the rim and change the shot, and that was huge for us. And then follow that up with it's a tale of two games, and Saturday was a tale of two halves. We were pretty good in the first half and had it going offensively and moving the ball and defending and getting in transition. And second half, just did not guard, did not defend, gave up way too much at the rim, gave up the paint too easy. And then on the offensive end, they went zone. They were having a hard time guarding us, a lot of trouble stopping us. Went zone, and we got good looks. When we got the ball, the baseline, the high post, we got clean looks. We didn't make any. We didn't shoot the ball from the three at all in either game, and so that's I know a frustrating thing for our guys because they do put in a lot of effort on it. But really disappointed. I know they are in the outcome on Saturday, and just have to figure out a way to respond. Coming off a really good win and then really a disappointing loss. So on we go. Life in the MIAA, not a night off, and it's unforgiving, and you just got to respond and be better next time out. And we've got a huge week in front of us, so we've got to move past Saturday's disappointment into the next phase.
Going now to DJ Sean Solo, his picks for Banger Players of the Week.
All right, so both these players are coming off from the Fort Hays game. So on the women's side, I've got Deanna Douglas with a double-double. You mentioned it before, 24 points, 11 boards, 14 for 17 from the free throw line. Incredible. And then on the other side of the guys, Ethan Blackman, another double-double, 23 points, 12 boards, 7-11 from the line. Just an incredible performance. So this goes to both of you guys. So what does a performance like that tell you about Ethan and Dee, about their roles right now, especially during tough physical games this past week?
Well, Dee had 24 and 11, and then we followed it up by only getting her 5 shots. So we gotta coach a little bit better and figure out a way to get her more shots because she's been playing better, and we need to get her moving better without the basketball and find positions to get her the ball where she can be successful. And then she's got to read the defense, how they're doubling her and doing some different things. And she did a good job of that. We just, like I said, we didn't, as a staff, didn't do a good job getting her the ball. But she's starting to peak at the right time. She's playing better. And we look forward to having her just keep working hard in the post and get in position and not taking things lightly.
Yeah, I think with Ethan, he's shown throughout his career he has the ability to be one of the best post scorers in our league, and if not the league, the country. And I thought on Thursday he really showed that. When we needed a basket, our guys were looking for him, and he was being more assertive about sealing and getting good position and then being aggressive with the ball and going and making plays. And he made some big plays, especially late in the game when we had to have it, when it was getting tight. We were able to go inside. He had a kick out for a 3, and then he scored on another one where he just demanded the ball and went up between 2 guys and got like he does with his footwork and his shot fakes and got at the rim and scored. And he can do that. And then sustains an injury and just unable to play him on Saturday. And so we'll see going forward how much he'll be able to provide. But I really thought Thursday felt really good walking out of the gym. Like our guys are looking for him. He's being more assertive. We're going to need him to do that to be our best down the stretch here, and so I was very encouraged by that.
What'd you see from your guys from that game? We talked about how it was grinded out, but what'd you learn about your guys about being mentally tough and getting through a game like that?
Yeah, we've challenged. Our biggest thing all year has been consistency. If you take us on snapshots, we go on the road and beat Rogers, one of the best teams in the league offensively, and we guard them. And then turn around and go to Fort Smith, one of the best offensive teams in the league. We guard them, and we get a big win. And come up with a big win against Fort Hays. At times, we've shown we've got the ability, and we're just fighting for some consistency. Guys, you've shown you can do it. We can show it to you on tape right there on the screen in living color. You lived it, you did it. We're looking at it. Let's find a way to reproduce that and be consistent and stack that. But I would think because of those performances, you should have some confidence that we can play with anybody. If we'll lock in and be sound and have some toughness, we can play with anybody in the league.
Yeah. Well, Coach, both of you mentioned physical games this week. Saturday, I'm going to mention, was a very physical game that I saw for you, Coach Ferguson. And I know that this is for both of them. I'm going to ask both of you this question here. So there's sometimes when we can start out a game, and I can see the other team. They're just coming out very physical, very almost trying to do a tone-setting deal on that. Some teams don't, and some do. What's the reaction like on your teams? How do they – when they see that and they deal with that? Just kind of talk a little bit about that. Their what they see and what they say, or maybe
I think and this is bad, and this is a little bit just getting more kids that have played together longer and having some maturity. But sometimes our kids get shoved a little bit, and we get pouty, and they're grabbing me and different things, and because you guys have never gone in and hit anybody. Like, come on. Come on. You got to have, that's what they're going to do. They're going to walk in. They're going to punch you. You're going to get hit. You're going to get hell. I mean, it's just part of the good teams don't let you go where you want to go. When you go watch any level of basketball, if you try to cut, good teams aren't going to let you just cut. And they're not going to let you just get to the post. Like, you don't get that's why we say we got to meet them early and not let them get deep position. Well, guess what? They're doing the same to you. So, it's a little bit both ways. Like, I think we've got to do a little bit better job of playing through some of that stuff. But just getting hey, guess what? They're probably going to try to do that. Don't be shocked. I mean, guess what? It's not like you're just bottom of the league and they're not going to give you their best effort. You've won some games, and you got to be able to take people's best shots and be ready when you lose to Hayes to bounce back the next day. Because guess what? Kearney doesn't care. I mean, they're all trying to beat you. So it's we would like to set the tone, but sometimes that just doesn't happen. You play some teams that really drag it out or speed it up or whatever, and You've got to try to play as close to the way you want to play, and that's a little bit on you. And again, good teams are going to make you do some different things, but you've got to do your best job, and it becomes a war of will at that point.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and I think every good defensive team is going to be physical. They're going to body you. They're going to chuck cutters. They're going to block you out hard. They're going to do whatever they can to keep the ball out of the paint, and so you hope your team's doing that as well. I mean, it's the same stuff we emphasize. To be good defensively, you've got to be a physical team, and and I think that's regardless of style of play. You get into league play, and everybody may do things just slightly different. But what wins in basketball is what wins, and that's sound defense and rebounding and taking care of the ball and getting good shots. So that shows up, and especially in a quick turnaround situation. I think you want to rely on habits, so you hopefully are developing those habits of being physical while not fouling, getting in careless and those kind of things. But you want to be a tough team to score on, and you want to be a team that can score against a tough physical defense as well.
Okay, Coach, this is a question for both of you too. So I know you looked at the film from this last week. I actually want to hear from you what you saw in the film this week that you really liked from your team. Something for both games or for one game, either one game that you really liked. I know we can always talk about things we want to improve on, but I really want to kind of focus on something we liked.
Sure. No, I go back to my first comment on the Hayes game. I thought for 40 minutes we were about as focused and as dialed in as we've been at any point this year of stacking as many good possessions as we could on the defensive end. And we were in help position. We got off to the ball. We were protecting the paint. We were chesting the dribbler, just consistently doing what we're emphasizing. It was good to see that and see that show up against a good team.
I thought for us, our level of effort was really good. We didn't do things right all the time, but our level of effort constantly was it was really good. I mean, you can get frustrated about not being great in transition, not doing this, not doing that, or guarding. But I felt like we were trying. They wanted to do the right thing, and their level of effort was really good. Because you have teams that they don't compete and they don't have any effort, and then you don't have a chance then, right? If you don't have any effort, it doesn't matter how bad or good things go. You don't have a chance if you don't have effort.
Great conversation so far. Before we go to break, I have a great announcement to share. NSU Athletics is excited to relaunch Roundup for River Rocks through our newest partner, Elevate, a simple way to support all River Rock teams by rounding up your spare change. Link your card, round up everyday purchases, and make a real impact. Participants receive 25% off all NSU game tickets and season passes, and the first 100 supporters are entered to win great prizes, including an NSU Nike and 7 jersey, signed memorabilia from the Oklahoma City Thunder and Texas Rangers, one of 10 2026 to 27 all sports passes, and more. Stay tuned to NSU social media for more updates in the coming days. Round up, give back, and rise with the Riverhawks. Let's pause briefly. When we come back, we will discuss this week's contest against Central Missouri and Washburn, the opening half of a 4-game road trip. Stick with us on Lakes Country 102.1. Welcome back to the NSU Basketball Coaches Show. We'll continue the conversation, but first we'd like to thank our official radio sponsors for the season. Without their support, this show would not be possible. The NSU Alumni Association, Archer Cleaners, Cherokee County Collision, Chick-fil-A Tahlequah, NSU College of Extended Learning, Riverside Liquor, and Whirling Dervish, Rose Rock Coffee, the Shockley Group, Tahlequah Family Vision Clinic, Northeastern State University Relations, and the Wash Barn. The River Rocks hit the road for one final trip in the regular season. Spanning the next 2 weeks, NSU will face 4 new MIAA opponents for their lone regular season meetings. It starts with Central Missouri on Thursday, Washburn on Saturday. UCM ladies are positioned near the top of the league ladder in the regular season's closing weeks and possess one of the top players in the association in Reese Schaff, while the UCM men own one of the conference's most efficient offenses and became the first team to knock off Washburn this season. Back on Saturday, the Washburn women, they've won 8 of 9 this season in the new Lee Arena and have held their last 8 opponents to 65 points or less. Washburn men were the nation's top-ranked team for Division II men's basketball last week and haven't lost in Lee Arena since March 3rd of 2024, owning a streak of 25 straight wins at home. Coaches, thoughts on your opponents this week? We'll start with Jay and then go on to Keith.
Yeah, just really a light week for us, you know.
Lightweight, baby.
Yeah, you just ran it down. Well, number one, we got the team that's been number one all year and undefeated until last Saturday. And then right before that, we get to go play the team that just knocked them off on Saturday. Yeah. So, 2 really good opponents. I mean, you know, welcome to the MIAA. That's what we do. Everywhere you go and every time you play, it's going to be someone really good. And Central Missouri really, really efficient on the offensive end this year. They've got the top scorer in the league with Lazarus Houston, this reigning MIAA Player of the Week after his performance against Washburn, and a really good player. And they fight you defensively. I mean, they're talk about physical and long and really disruptive on the defensive end, and they can ugly it up. But they've got a really efficient offense to go along with it this year. They're the top 3-point shooting team percentage-wise and makes per game in the league. So got to get to shooters, and they're going to present a lot of challenges. And then a quick one-day turnaround to go play Washburn, who's been one of the top Division II performing programs over the last 2 years. National semifinalists a year ago, and just coming off of a 22-game win streak. Looking to start another one this week. So, you know, really good opponents, really good coaches, really good players, great atmospheres, going to be in hostile environments. And, you know, I think as a competitor, you're hopefully looking forward to that. I hope our guys are looking forward to that challenge. And obviously got to be ready to go because you're facing 2 really, really good teams and really good programs. And so be a good challenge for us, good test, and let's see where we're at.
Well, I'm with Jay. Really light week.
Just sit back.
Light week, and I'm like, holy crap. You know, fun fact here, we've never beaten Central Missouri since we've been in the MIAA on the women's side. Hasn't happened.
I didn't realize that.
Has not happened. No, it's one fun fact. You know.
So no pressure.
Ori knows. He just didn't want to say it for me, and I appreciate it. He knows. They're playing as well as anybody in our league in the last month and a half. They are playing really, really well. They're switching 1 through 5, and they create mismatches. And Reese Schaff is just a girl possessed right now. I mean, she's playing at a whole nother level that only the Weeder kid has been playing at. I mean, they're just. I don't know if those 2 kids can just take over games by themselves so fast, and then her sportcast is pretty dang good, and they're just really, really solid. They're guarding better than I think they've guarded in a few years. I mean, their intensity to do things is just way different, and they're for the last month and a half, they've been really, really dang good. And then Washburn, I think they're the best defensive team in the league. They shrink the floor so fast on you. They've got the best post player in the league who I think she's shooting close to 60%. I mean, she's a stud. And Washburn does a really good job of making sure she gets the shots, right? Her and the shooter, those two kids, they get the shots. So, man, you just got two teams that are playing really well. Now, Washburn has struggled at times scoring the basketball, but they make up for it so much on the other end. And I say that, and they're all of a sudden going to, do what some other teams have done with us, and just light it up from three, and we'll be that guinea pig for them. So, no, it's two great challenges on the road. I mean, you're going in, and you're just like, man, these two teams are good. But I had the same feeling going into Hayes, same feeling going into Pitt, same feeling going into Southern. I mean, a lot of those teams are really good. So, but they're both playing at a high level. They both guard well. They make the game really hard for you, and we've got to be ready to go, and we got to play better, and hopefully we will.
Well, and you guys have seen a lot of different defensive looks all season. So how has that helped you to prepare for this week going against these two teams? And are you going to have either Jordan rules in play that you're going to have to deal with, or who's going to be the part of Bill Lambier this week?
Man, I don't know. We have not seen anybody guard at the way Central guards completely switching 1 through 5 and being able to. That's going to be. We haven't quite seen that. We've seen some 2 through 4 switch or 2 through 5 switching, but the 1 through 5 where you're just like looking up at a tall kid on a tall kid on a tall kid is hard. And then Washburn, we actually scrimmaged Washburn at the beginning of the year. Obviously, they're playing a lot better than they are at that time, but their length and physicality and athleticism is just there's nobody else in the league that guards like that. I mean, they shrink the floor and they make you feel like there's no room to do anything. And they can press, they can play a lot of different styles with their kids. So it'll be fun. I mean, it's a fun way to try to go play. You don't want it all to be the same and boring. You got to have challenges. Otherwise, we wouldn't be as thinning and graying and everything else that we're doing over here. Because it's not from our wives. It's definitely from our job. Our wives, they don't bring us any kind of stress like that.
Definitely some more gray stubble coming through this week, for sure. Well, Coach Jay, so we talked about earlier about the home win streak and everything like that. How do you keep your team focused in an environment like that? How difficult is it to tune that out and just focus on the execution with you guys?
Yeah, well, it's difficult, but I think it goes back to your foundation, your habits. We've always, not this year, every year, we always emphasize, keeping your horizon short. And so when you get into a game, you really want to turn all of your focus into winning that possession, whether it's offense or defense. Sure. And then as soon as that one ends, go back, sprint to the other end and win that possession. And I think, it's easier said than done. You go into not only a difficult environment, but playing a really good team, and that just feeds off of that environment. It'll be a challenge, and this is also our first extended road trip of the year. It's just kind of the way the schedule fell. So a lot of new for our team. So hopefully it's rein it in and keep your horizon short. We say that all the time. We don't have to do anything but what's right in front of us, and keep that the focus. And when you get in the game, you're between the lines, you're giving everything for that possession, leaning on your habits and depending on your teammates and communicating, and hopefully that you just get into that flow of being a basketball player and doing what you've done your whole life and what we've emphasized all year. But it's no coincidence that, you look statistically at winning on the road in college basketball. It doesn't happen. I mean, it's a difficult thing to do, which is why when you have an opportunity to do what we did early in the year, it feels so good. You go into someone else's house and get it done. That's a great feeling because it's so hard to do. Sure. So, when you have that opportunity, I think you want to play up the fact that this is a great opportunity and we can go make something happen, and then really try to rein in your focus on keeping it right in front of the windshield. Don't pay attention to what's go and put the blinders on.
Right.
Let's lock in on what's right in front of us and be the best we can be in that moment.
And I imagine Washburn's probably they were probably looking forward to this game against y'all after last year when they came to the Nest and we got to send them packing.
I'm certain of it. I think we've beaten them 5 out of the last 7 times, but the 2 losses have been at their place, and they're really good there. And I would imagine they would very much like a piece of us and our program. And Saturday night, that's going to happen. We're going to lock up, so we better be ready.
Yeah, you had mentioned also, Jay, when you travel, you try to keep everything the same, routine the same, keep everybody focused. And I know I've asked this question before, even with some of the players, and like, well, it's all the same. We're just going on the road. We're still going to eat. We're still going to sleep. We're still going to go practice. Still do the gym, do all that stuff. So having the players have that mentality is a positive for y'all, I'm sure. With this tough, we've got the next 2 weeks on the road too. So you've got a lot that you're getting ready to deal with here. So. Before we come back home for the last 2 games. So my question is, when you go on these, you talked about the extended first trip here, and then you're following up with another 2 away games. Does that, in your coaching style, do you change anything up? And this is for both of you. Do you change anything up on that, on what you do on your end, or just try? I know you try to keep it consistent, but there's got to be some kind of adjustments that you would make, I would imagine.
Yeah, I think athletes are largely creatures of habit, and I think that's why you want to form good habits early on. And I know the routine matters. You get into, we've played a lot of Thursday, Saturday formats, so whether it's home or on the road, I think, those game times and the game days kind of have a similar feel to it. Just, you change location. So hopefully you have that game day routine where you get up, you get moving, you go to shoot around, you have a pregame meal, and you arrive at the gym about the same time, and just try to keep things routine, and because you want to rely on habits and focus on the job at hand.
Well, for us, Warrensburg and Topeka, big party scene. So we, try to get there early, get our gym shots up, let them go, and
I'll meet you there.
And get loose, get comfortable, sleep. Different than we.
He's joking by the way. For anybody that
I thought he was serious.
No, it is definitely hard. It's the struggle too is the being in the hotel room. Because when you go. Everybody's like, oh, you get to go somewhere and it's 30 degrees, right? We can't go walk around. We can't go downtown anywhere to stretch your legs and do anything like that. We're going places and it's cold outside, so it's not like we get to go see a site or see something, right. Cool, anything like that. So it does get a little monotonous, having to sit at the hotel room and you got to try to keep your kids engaged, and you don't want them to sleep all day because they absolutely will try if you let them, and try to get them out of the room a little bit. So, there's some obviously challenges being on the road, but it's you get used to it, and you try to keep things as much as it is at home as you can, and we do our best.
Next, we have the Captain's Sketch with Captain Morgan. He'll look at a player from both teams he's got his eye on for this week. We also get final thoughts from the table. It's next on the NSU Basketball Coaches Show, presented by the NSU Alumni Association. We return to the NSU Basketball Coaches Show, presented by the NSU Alumni Association. We have a few more things to get to. First, a reminder that we will be live on Thursday for a 5:30 p.m. tip-off for the women's game against UCM and the men taking the court after. Get on Lakes Country 102.1, the official radio home of NSU Athletics. Coverage begins at 5 on Saturday. We'll be live at 1 for the women's tip-off at 1:30 against the Ichabods, featuring the men's game after. Captain Morgan has his picks for players to watch this week. Let's go to the weekly Captain's Catch.
This here's the week's Captain's Catch pick for the captain. We're starting off with the men this week. I've got Taven Washington, the senior. He brings composure, toughness, and effort on both ends of the floor. He understands pace, makes smart decisions, and does the little things that matter the most on the road and stand locked in possession after possession. And when the game tightens and the deck gets loud, that's when you want Taven Washington on watch, ready to steer this crew through heavy waters. Arr! And then for the women, this week's captain's chick is Mackenzie Smith. She runs the floor, finishes in transition, and turns quick decisions into quick points. When the pace picks up and defenses scramble, Smith is already a step ahead. There's my captain's catch of the week. Arr!
I like it. Give the captain a hand. One final reminder that the most visible way to show your Northeastern pride is through membership with the NSU Alumni Association. Make sure to download the Green and White Network mobile app for alumni and tap the Coaches Show tile. Fill out the form to enter to win a $25 Visa gift card while you receive a generous discount offer for Alumni Association membership just for taking the time to fill it out. We'll do our weekly drawing now. I think we should have captain draw this week.
Okay.
You know, Sean did it last week to prove it wasn't rigged against Manny Joe.
Okay.
All eyes on Captain Morgan. Duel Smith is our winner this week.
Who? Duel?
Yeah.
Duel Smith. Congratulations, Duel.
Go.
Big congrats. And the good news for DJ Sean Solo, Manny Joe will live to draw another week.
Well, I'm just, get these losses out of the way because Solo's about to be in Vegas, so I'm trying to get all the losses out now so that way I can win when I go there next week.
Yes, and while we're on the subject, unfortunately, DJ Sean Solo will not be with us for next week's Coaches Show, so that means being the captain will get to wreak some havoc. We'll see how that goes.
Should be fun.
Bet the under on the Mavs.
Oh.
All right.
Safe bet, right?
Yeah, safe
The
bet,
under.
yeah.
Another great show in the books. Final thoughts before this week's games. We'll go right back to Sean.
I just want to see both teams just start off on Thursday. Just get that one game done, just one game at a time. Just bounce back from last weekend. Be a goldfish.
Yep, I couldn't have said that better myself. I'm going to kind of switch gears. I did see you Friday, Jay, at the baseball game, so I want to give them a plug as well, if we can do so. So it was good to see you out there watching them. What were your thoughts on that game?
Oh, it was great. A lot of offense and great atmosphere. I know it got the attention of some of the opposing fans, so it was great atmosphere at Rousey, and it's good to be back in baseball mode and love going out there and watching, and it was a good weekend getting the series win against Upper Iowa.
Absolutely. And I will say that it was I think we were told it was one of the biggest home openers crowds that we had. So, again, I think we had people in the visitor section. So
beautiful weather
Yeah.
and good baseball.
Yeah, and they'll be back at it this weekend against Truman State. Also want to shout out softball because they've been knocking it out of the park, no pun intended, lately. Opened their season with the win over number 6 North Georgia. They had a great couple of wins against Hillsdale. Looking forward to seeing them in Tahlequah this week for Cherokee Nation Softball Festival. Final thoughts from the coaches.
Well, I'm excited because I'm really going to pull at my in-laws' hearts here because they're all Washburn grads. So they've got to decide how much they like me this week. They might cheer for me. They might not. I'm not sure. My brother-in-law, I don't think he will. My sister-in-law, yes. Father-in-law, most likely. Mother-in-law, yes. It's just going to be kind of a coin flip. Brother-in-law that's a doctor, he doesn't even know we're playing. He won't know. So it'll be interesting. I'm interested to see how the family pulls in. And, if we could pull one off, what's their response going to be?
Go back south.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting.
Just looking forward to safe
Jay's got nothing.
travels.
It's like, I can't. Yeah.
Safe travels. And, let's see how we compete. Great opportunity for us, and I think the men's and women's team both. We have a great opportunity, and you don't have unlimited opportunities in life. So this is, a couple we have this week. Let's go make the most of it and see what we can do.
This has been the NSU Basketball Coaches Show presented by the NSU Alumni Association. We'll catch you Thursday.